This is Graveyard Shift. And we're playing in the morning or evening, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, enjoy. We are playing DLC. Just like we're back over to our house.
Lady Morange tells me that a delegation from the De Vespe family just landed on the island.
From the look on your face, I take it their arrival is not good news. Are they that bad?
I've never ferried them myself, but it's said they are treacherous assassins. I wonder why they're here. We should talk to Lady Morange. She'll be able to tell us more.
Ah, Sir de Sardet. Did you get my message?
Indeed. The arrival of the De Vespe family in Tir Fredi is surprising and no doubt worrying. But without knowing their intentions...
Nothing good can come from that family, for the interests of the D'Orsay family and Serene. But I truly cannot tell you anything about the reason for their presence. The message I received was brief. Aurelia de Vespe announced her arrival on the island and asked to see your cousin as soon as possible. She and her entourage seem to have settled in a region that I do not know. Adag ol Credo, north of Vikshadir. I think it would be good for you to locate her and try to find out more.
I know this place, but I thought that only the Doneigada from the Baragnodas clan knew how to access it. It's a sacred place. That's where Animide shed his blood.
You should also take advantage and visit these unknown lands. Who knows what they have in store for us?
You're right. It's better for us to go and see what it's all about. What can you tell me about the De Vespe family? I've never met them, and everything I know is hearsay.
And, strange and worrying as it is, the rumors are justified for the most part. Nevertheless, I'm not an expert, and I've been away from the continent for a long time. I'm sure Sir de Courcillon will be able to tell you more, but know that they have envied the D'Orsay family's power in the congregation for generations. They have tried to impose themselves many times at its head, holding up the antiquity of their city Perenne as a pretext. They bribe messengers, use blackmail and trickery, even murder, according to some people. And don't back down for anything. Be very careful with them, Your Excellency, and don't believe a single one of their lies. They're real vipers. Do you have any other questions?
What do you know about Aurelia de Vespe? Is she an important member of the family?
As far as I know, she's the prince's favorite daughter, and the only one left. I seem to remember that she was married to a promising young nobleman for a few years. I heard he died in suspicious circumstances, but I couldn't tell you what happened or if it's even true. But if you want to find out more about her before you go to meet her, you should go to speak to Sir de Courcillon. Do you have any other questions?
Do you know the city of Perenne?
Legend would have it that it's the oldest city in the congregation, and its ruins bear witness to a glorious past. It's a beautiful city with a river running through it, and whose art and architecture have long been a source of inspiration for the old world. Nevertheless, it doesn't have direct access to the sea, which stopped it from thriving and becoming as powerful as Serene. That's what finally pushed it into the background amidst the larger cities. Do you have any other questions?
Goodbye, Lady Morange.
Goodbye, Your Excellency.
De Sade, you seem somewhat gloomy. What's troubling you?
As you may have heard, the de Vespe family has sent a delegation to the island. It's led by the prince's daughter herself.
Ah, most curious. And very worrying indeed. But you didn't come all this way in person just to bring me the bad news, I take it?
You read my mind. Knowledge is power. I need all the information you've got. What can you tell me about this family?
Well, the House of Vespe has a very long history. They gained their first noble titles through violence a few centuries ago. Then, commerce and close ties with Ptolemy saw them rise to become the Princes of Peren, their ancestral city. However, their lust for power is boundless. And it's no secret they wish to reign over the whole congregation. No luck on that front so far, naturally. Their ambitions have always been curbed by the Dorsays, along with Serene's strategic advantages over Peren.
Quite the history, then. And what about today?
Well, they're more ambitious than ever. When the Malichor epidemic hit Serene as hard as it did, they saw it merely as a weakness to exploit. They attempted a series of maneuvers to oust your uncle from the council. But then the epidemic ended up hitting Peren too. However, I don't think they've given up. And if they've come all the way here, it's surely to gain influence and to undermine your family. Was there anything else you wish to ask?
Do you know anything in particular about the prince's daughter, Aurelia de Vespe?
She's a young woman, about your age. Very beautiful, so they say. And she's dearly beloved by her father. Despite her age, she's already endured her fair share of tragedy. Her husband, whom I'm told she deeply loved, was brutally murdered not long ago. What's more, Aurelia's older brother, Octave de Vespe, is rumored to be the one behind it. And I don't just mean he gave the order. That said, don't be fooled into thinking she's but a tragic, defenseless young widow. Oh, she's very much her father's daughter. Ambitions and all. I have no doubt she'll be a formidable opponent for yourself and Constantine. Treat her as such. Was there anything else you wish to ask?
Given this family's reputation, what's stopping us from arresting them on the spot?
What, without evidence? That would do no good to your uncle's reputation and his position on the continent. I'm sure your cousin would delight in watching him squirm. But the Dorsey family could never recover from such a situation. If you arrest her without evidence, the council would be forced to intervene. And that is exactly what that old serpent, Alexandre de Vespe, wants. No, you must play along for now, but be extremely vigilant. Look out for poison in particular. The Devesps have untraceable poisons down to a science. Their other weapon is compromising information, which they store in special chests without keyholes. Should slander not suffice, their assassins step in. It is said that Peren's River is riddled with the bodies of their enemies. Take care you don't end up joining them. Was there anything else you wish to ask?
Could I cut off their heads and we just never say it was me? I mean, there's an option. I mean, they did it, why can't we? And we just keep the secret without evidence.
I must be on my way. Goodbye, Professor.
Goodbye. And tread carefully.
I'm sorry, I'm just that petty. If people are like that, I'm likely to be that way too. Especially if I came this far, fought so many bosses, and got my butt whipped so many times. I'm not just gonna lose it all to a freaking assassin. He gives charisma, science, vigor, intuition, charisma.
Come closer, good people. The You'll find all you need in our selection. You need to be the talk. Welcome. Have you seen anything to your liking? Thank you for your visit. See you soon.
Far East. Kadachi did it. I forgot what the freaking thing's called. Wait. Is it Nagitana or Nagitana? Butchering the name here, I'm just gonna shut up. Then we got that. I forgot I had that actually. Forgot I had this too.
Legate de Sade, I presume.
Indeed. Delighted to meet you, Your Grace.
The accounts I've been given of you and your companions don't do you justice. Truly, it is a pleasure. We're going to become wonderful friends, you and I'm sure of it. Say, aren't we going to be cousins soon?
Pardon me, Your Grace, but I'm not sure I follow. And if I may ask, what is it precisely that brings you to this remote island?
Haven't you heard? Well, it seems the messengers on this island are not particularly reliable. No matter. Your uncle and my father have decided that your cousin, Prince Constantine, and I are to be married. So, here I am.
My... This is... incredible news.
I know you must be surprised. However, this alliance will be a wonderful way to put an end to the enmity between us, don't you think?
Indeed. But I should warn you that you might find my cousin to be... different.
Different? I suppose it's normal for a long journey through these new lands to change a person.
As you may have heard, he caught the Malachor. The magic present on this island cured him, but it also... changed him.
Truly, it's a miracle he's recovered at all. I'm not surprised that it's left its mark. Still, I'm certain it won't affect our wedding, I assure you. Then, you and I will be cousins, of course. Furthermore, I was hoping I might be able to count on your assistance.
Of course, Your Grace. What can I do for you?
You see, I didn't want to impose myself on New Serene until all the necessary arrangements had been made for my arrival. I had the Nauts drop us off in a quiet place outside the city. Too far outside the city, clearly. There were these savages and bandits skulking around the woods and threatening us. They even robbed me. Worst of all, they took the chest in which I was keeping the marriage contract.
Savages? The only savages I know are the ones who invaded our home.
Oh, please forgive me, I meant no disrespect. Natives then, is it? In any case, it's absolutely mortifying to have to ask you this, but you know the island and its inhabitants better than I do. Could you perhaps retrieve the chest for me? I would be eternally grateful, cousin.
Since we're going to be cousins, I'll have to get to know you better.
Well, aren't you just lovely? I'm afraid there isn't much to tell. I was raised like any good princess, educated in both arts and arms. But, as I had several older brothers, I was never really given a political role. I'm still my father's favorite, though. You may know that I've already been married once, but my husband was murdered in cold blood as part of a plot at court.
I'm very sorry for your loss. Please accept my deepest condolences.
You're too kind. After he died, my father decided it was best to send me away from Peren. He knew your cousin was unmarried and was tired of the futile disputes between our families. So he contacted Prince d'Orsay, and the rest is history. Is there anything else?
I won't deny that I'm surprised to hear about your engagement to my cousin, despite the excellent reason you put forth.
Surely you didn't think your cousin would stay single forever. Know that although the decision was not my own, I'm very pleased about it. I got the impression your uncle thought a wedding might calm your cousin a little. And now that he's in the role of governor, he needs a wife of his standing. My father saw an opportunity to get me away from Peren, where I was in great danger, and found me a worthy husband in the process. But again, it's clear that their main intention was to put an end to years of conflict. Is there anything else?
Can you tell me more about the theft?
Of course. We were unloading our things from those horrid little boats that the Nauts get about in when it was taken. I was busy setting up camp at the time, so I didn't see who it was. My men didn't see much either, because it was dark. But certain natives from the region stopped by in the morning. They were aggressive and insisted that we leave. I'm sure they were behind the robbery, unless it was just bandits. There were a couple that my men chased away, but that's all I know.
Thank you. We'll get about finding it.
Is there anything else?
I must be going, Your Grace.
But
I don't like you. Everything about you speaks snake. I do not like you. just to put an end. That's what you keep saying. That's what every liar will keep saying. Just to prove their point. Guess what? You're not slitting his throat. It's not gonna happen. But he does need to die though, for some reason. If there's no cure. Okay, so he doesn't die, he'll just destroy this island. Just eat the power of the tree.
This whole wedding business seems quite questionable. I'm not familiar with the customs of the congregation's great families. But this...
I can't believe it either. There is too much rancor between our families.
Could the contract she spoke of be forged? Is it even possible? I'm not familiar with the practice.
A document can be forged, especially by them. This much is clear. If we find it, it'll need close scrutiny. If I've understood correctly, the chest was here when it was stolen. Ah, there are footprints which lead away from the camp. There are other footprints here. They're quite deep, as if the person who made them were carrying a heavy load. We're on the right path. The undergrowth has been crushed. Several people pass through here. footprints seem less hurried. The thieves must have felt safer here. We must be getting close.
Poison on my blade. Let's go! Let's see if you can ward off this fate.
Eggs with that are rare on this island. We don't see many around here. But I'm convinced they don't eat their prey where they catch it. They would normally take it back to their lair.
Maybe they were about to do just that when we got here. Let's look around. We'll soon find out. And let's not forget Aurelia's chest. That's curious. On closer inspection, these men were obviously not killed by animals. The stab wounds are clearly visible. The fact that these outlaws were stabbed is highly suspicious. And considering all we know about her family, I can't help thinking Aurelia de Vespe is responsible. The question is why? I suppose we'll only find out once we talk to her again. We'd best go back to the camp and return the chest. The de Vespe coat of arms. This must be the chest or...
Is there any way to open it? We could examine this contract of hers.
I can't see a lock. And we'd be hard-pressed to explain why we broke it. We'd better bring it back untouched.
Wait. Look, there seem to be soldiers over there. We should observe them before jumping into their arms.
It seems they're Aurelia de Vespe's swordsmen. I'm afraid it is now beyond doubt. These men were sent to ambush us. Aurelia sent us to recover that chest solely in order to get rid of us.
We should teach those assassins and their mistress a lesson. But, since we spotted them, if you'd rather avoid trouble...
cover her chest in order to get rid of us. She hoped these killers would be the end of us. She deserves Enon Milfrichtemann's wrath. May he engulf her in lava. What do you intend to do?
She'll have to answer for this. But, given the power of her family, we must remain polite.
You? I didn't think I'd see you again. So soon.
Is that because you'd hoped we'd be clawed to death by those beasts? Or because you thought your assassins would get the better of us?
Come now, who do you take me for? I was just putting your courage to the test, that's all. A princess's whim. I kindly suggest you forget all about this little incident. You see, my dear, we Devesps have a habit of knowing as much about our enemies as our friends. I'm afraid my father's men have obtained some rather sensitive information, which, well, if the other governors were to find out, it could very well jeopardize your position, along with that of the D'Orsay. If word were to get out about your origin, for example...
Are you trying to blackmail me?
Oh, what a horrid word! Come now, I would never do such a thing. Let's just say that I'm ensuring your loyalty. In fact, some of my men are already at the courts of Hikmet and San Mateus, and ready to act if you try anything. But I'm sure it won't come to that. We'll soon be part of the same family, after all.
What are your intentions? Surely you're not going to all this trouble just to marry my cousin.
And why not? Your cousin's quite the catch, you know. But you're quite right. I want more than just a new husband. I want a place where I can showcase my talents, a place to shine. Who knows? As the governor's wife, I could even become the new legate and try my hand at diplomacy. Unless I decide to keep you, of course. That is, if you promise to serve me well and aid me in expanding our influence on this island and beyond. The Devesps have long worked in the shadows of the congregation. No more. I hope that answers your question. Is there anything else?
Why do you feel the need to resort to blackmail? You have your contract. Why threaten me?
My sweet summer child. You seem to have learnt to navigate the seas of politics in a duck pond. My waters, however, were shark-infested. Knowing the weaknesses of others, as well as how and when to exploit them to ensure unwavering loyalty, is key to survival as a Devesp. I believe I mentioned that my late husband was murdered at court. Well, his killers worked for my brother. My own brother didn't think twice before having the man I loved killed to secure his position. He broke my heart. I understand, of course. I'd probably do the same. And what of it? Do you think I would feel more remorse were it, say, a cousin-in-law? Is there anything else?
Here is your chest. This is the one you sent me to fetch.
Yes, that's the one. Thank you for your help. You have shown yourself to be as reliable as they say. Long may it continue to be the case. Well, now that I've recovered my precious documents, you'll be able to deliver the wedding contract to your cousin in New Serene. I await the preparations for my arrival and accommodation. Then there'll be plenty of time to prepare the ceremony with my husband-to-be.
The arrival of a noble lady such as yourself will require several arrangements. New Serene is a very new city.
Yes, I'm sure. Don't dither for too long now. I'm counting on you to be as quick as possible. And to convince your cousin and his men to be reasonable. You know what's at stake. Is there anything else?
I must be going, Your Grace.
But of course. Goodbye, dear cousin.
She has us. We now have the contract, but even if it does turn out to be forged, we have no choice but to bend to her will.
Curses. That woman is more vicious than a scorpion fish. Do you have any idea which family secrets she's uncovered?
There's no way of knowing without those documents. I can guarantee one thing. The Dorsey family has many secrets, and if they got out...
The same can be said of all noble families, of course. In that case, we must find those documents before she uses them. We should go to Hikmet and San Mateus to find the henchman she sent.
You're right. It's the only way to put an end to this alliance and supplant the Viper.